Hello again, I am Blunty, lover of all things gizmo and gadget. If it can be powered up, I want to take a look. If it can be turned on, I want to put it through its paces. Today I'm looking at this little guy here, little JVC camcorder. I've had this for a couple of months. It's long overdue for a review. I've been able to dig right into it, been using it a lot, spent enough time with it to know what it offers, what it can do, what it can't do, what it does do well, what it doesn't do well, so let's take a look. The JVC Vario GZ, or GZ depending on which slab of mud you call home on this globe we call Earth, MS120 is an ultra-compact, flash memory-based and relatively inexpensive consumer-level camcorder. Basically, this little bugger is a handy-dandy, easy-to-carry, standard-definition point-and-shoot video camera. It's slim, it's light, and it's simple to use. Starting from the business end, we've got a Konica Minolta 35x zoom lens. You can increase the zoom level up to a ridiculous 800 times by switching on the digital zoom in the menus, but seriously, digital zoom is a joke on any camera, and it is a guaranteed way to destroy image quality, and if I ever catch any of you using digital zoom on a camera, I will personally slap you upside your stupid head until your teeth rattle. Moving on, you've got a little LED video light. Most video cameras have one of these for shooting in dark conditions, and they're only really useful if your subject is within a meter or two of the lens. But even with this limited usefulness, I'd rather have it than not have it. And the one on this camera has worked out quite well for me, and has allowed me to film people in lighting conditions that would have otherwise left me unable to film anything at all. The front-mounted microphones are a really nice touch, as I'm never going to accidentally muffle or cover them with my fingers, as has happened on many other cameras I've used. They're fairly sensitive, and no, I don't mean they cry while watching chick flicks, but rather that they pick up sound well at varying volumes. And while the sound quality won't impress audiophiles, they do the job well enough to give you at least satisfactory, clear audio at decent levels. Basically, it's good enough for the types of duties this camera is likely to be put to. Swinging around now, and we flip open the LCD panel and something really nice happens. The camera jumps to life within moments, and I love this because it means I can shoot something spontaneously very quickly. I've been able to go from camera off to recording something in about 3 seconds, which is quicker than most cameras can merely boot up in, forget actually starting to record anything, by which time you may have already missed the action. I love this. The screen is clear and easy to see even out in direct sun, and all your standard camera vitals are displayed. Dull but functional. But off to the side here you have what JVC call their laser touch panel, for reasons no grander, I think, than being able to put the word laser in their marketing materials. It's also a lie. There are no lasers anywhere on this camera. What it is, however, is a simple touch panel with pointlessly flashy blue LED glow effects that serve no function but to look pointlessly flashy. I hate that. I also hate that this panel is the way you interact and make selections in the menu system. Why do I hate it? Because it's clumsy, inaccurate, and in every way an annoyance. It's often far too sensitive, making you skip blindly over several selections in the menus with the slightest touch. It's fiddly, it makes changing the settings and options a much slower and more annoying chore than it should be. And even out of the menu system it gets in the way because it functions as a secondary zoom control in camera mode, and not as you'd expect by sliding up or down its full length, maybe even varying zoom speed depending on how fast you slide. No! Instead you touch two locations at the top of the screen and bam, you're zooming. Locked speed, no fine control, it's crap. Made crapper, and crap launched into crap space at the speed of crap by the fact that the icons indicating where to touch are hidden until you touch it, which has led me on near countless occasions to accidentally start zooming when I had no intentions of zooming, completely ruining a shot. And all because I did what so many of us do and held the LCD panel with my free hand to steady the camera for a more stable shot, accidentally touching the touch panel and activating the zoom. The so-called laser touch panel is also used for when you're in manual focus mode, but I dare you to try that and not feel an uncontrollable urge to vomit up your own ribcage and punch babies out of pure frustration. It just doesn't work very well. Back to the things I do like about this little bugger. One of my absolute favourite things is it has dual SDHC card slots. And the really neat thing is that the camera automatically switches cards once you fill one up while you're recording. I've got two 12GB SDHC cards in here, and I always record in maximum quality mode, and I get around 6 hours of recording. At the lowest quality mode I can stretch that to 15 hours, but frankly I'd rather carry around spare memory cards than record in anything but the best quality it can offer. It's not like SD cards are big and heavy. I mean, I could carry 200GB worth of them in my pocket for 50 hours recording time and barely notice they were there. If you suck at math, that's about 17 12GB cards just like this one. The JVC GZ MS120 is also quite the lightweight when it comes to sucking the juice. The standard battery pack will give you up to 170 minutes of recording time, and again, if you suck at maths, that's 2 hours 50 minutes. This will vary depending on how many times you shut down and turn on and how much you use the zoom and all that kind of thing, but with average use I'm easily getting 2 to 2.5 hours from a single charge. There are also, of course, higher capacity batteries to keep you going and going and going and going and going even longer. There's an incredibly handy little button labelled Info. Hit it once and it'll tell you how much recording time you can expect on memory card A in each of the quality modes. You can also quickly change your quality mode settings from here. Hit it once more for the second memory card and a third time to give you a detailed display of your expected remaining battery life. So very handy. All that is well and good, I hear you say, but it's all meaningless unless it takes decent looking video, and right you are. So let's take a look at some footage I shot with it. I must admit I was pleasantly surprised with what I got out of this camera when I first got it. For a tiny camera with a relatively small lens and a small image sensor, it captures a nicely saturated image with good clarity, a nice level of detail, and doesn't show the tendency for image tearing or motion blur you see in many other small digital video cameras. The image is very crisp and clear, especially in well-lit environments, but even in low light, which is more often than not the absolute Achilles heel of many video cameras, who see about as well in dim light as Mr. Magoo with a spork stuck in each eye, the little JVC does itself proud, keeping a good level of detail and decent colour saturation. There is grain and noise, but it is far less than I was expecting, and far less than many other cameras. It does have some trouble sometimes focusing in low light conditions, especially when you're zoomed in, but this isn't unusual and isn't a problem exclusive to this camera. In fact, it's pretty common. The exposure levels when moving between bright and dark areas, or vice versa, is slightly clunky, but again it handles it much more smoothly than many other cameras in, or even above, its class. It does okay. What you don't get and may or may not miss on this camera are things like an accessory shoe, there is no headphone socket and no input for an external microphone. Not deal breakers for a camera of this type, but I would have liked at least to have a headphone and microphone jack. What you do get is a very pocketable camera that's easy to take with you everywhere. It starts up lightning quick, so you're ready to catch those surprise moments. Records to inexpensive, small, common and easy to get SD memory cards. It's very kind on battery life and performs surprisingly well in low light conditions. Perfect for capturing blackmail material of your drunken friends and family at late night house parties. And aside from the living hell and utter abomination that is the laser touch panel, this is a very nice piece of kit and one of the best cameras in its price range. And so finally the issue of price. Whenever I do a review, people complain if I don't mention the price, and the reason I don't mention the price on a lot of things is because these things cost different amounts of money in different currencies depending on where you are in the world. This is being seen worldwide, so if I give you a price here it may not apply to you, or you may think it's too much because I'm talking in Australian dollars and you're American and your dollar's worth more than ours and all that sort of rubbish. I can tell you, I went to JB Hi-Fi. No, that isn't a plug, I just like going there for my gadgets because you can talk them into a bargain. Have a Google, you've got the model number, have a Google for it to find out how much you can get this in your local price. Go into a store, see if you can haggle for it, find a bargain online and all that sort of stuff, because I do recommend it. It's a really nice little camera, and the reason I got it is because I want something to carry with me anywhere, everywhere, because the main camera I use, the one you're seeing this through now, high-def Canon HV10, is a little bit bulky to carry with me. This thing fits in a little pouch so I can wear it on my belt. I barely know I'm wearing it. It's always with me. It's always ready. Bam, bam, bam. That's why I love it. So I'll catch you next time. Thanks for watching.